I made this video quite a few weeks ago and then felt like it was really heavy and I just didn't want to share it. But now that Jamal Edwards has also died and the collective loss that a lot of us, especially in the UK, are feeling, I want to put this video out just as a way to connect with others who are also contemplating death, life, what it all means, what it's about, what it's for. Thank you to Catherine, to Jamal, and I want to send my love to their friends and family.
Hello and welcome to my channel. If you know me, you know I love nature. So it's a January day, it's beautiful, it's so sunny. I had a lot on my mind this week, so I decided to come to the park, to the pond, to do this video. I think it's quite fitting as well because this video is or has been prompted by death, and in particular by the death of a YouTuber that I followed, and one that I followed since last year actually. And funnily enough, like she wasn't a huge YouTuber yet. She had like a growing following of about 2,000 subscribers. She was a black woman, young woman, in her 20s I would say, from London, and she seemed very wise. She had strong opinions, which I like. I know it's not everyone thinks it's good to have strong opinions, but she did, and I related to it, and I related to her. And I was actually just checking up on her channel, as I do every so often, and saw a community post from her family to say that she had passed away. I was just so shocked, really shocked, and I was surprised at myself by how much it rocked me. You know, when I got the news, it took me some time to settle, really, because it just didn't make sense. You know, she seemed so vibrant and so alive through her videos, you know, a force to be reckoned with. And she seemed so determined to really do this YouTube thing and make it work. And she was already doing so well. And I had no doubts that her journey would continue and that she would just keep getting bigger. No doubts about it at all. Hearing that she passed away, it made me question some things. It made me think about her family, how they're doing, and how they're processing all this. Because, as I said, she was just a young woman who had, I hate to say it, but her whole life ahead of her and everything to look forward to. So it just doesn't make sense that she's died, you know? And obviously I practice Buddhism, and I know the Buddhist view on death. And I understand the Buddhist view on death, and I accept the Buddhist view on death. Like, it makes sense. But how would that help anyone in this situation? These are the questions that I was asking myself. You know, even if you know, or you've found a version of life and death that makes sense to you, however it may come. You might just be a spiritual person, you might be a Muslim, a Christian, a Hindu, whatever version of life and death that you've reconciled with. How does it help you, and how does it comfort you when death actually comes? So it made me look over some Buddhist books that I've got to kind of just refresh the Buddhist concept of life and death, and how I would apply that in this situation if Catherine was a member of my family. You know, like, it wouldn't take away the pain, it wouldn't make it hurt less. So how does it help? And I must say, I haven't personally been affected by death, you know, touch wood. Obviously it's something that will happen at some point, but I have lived all these years without having anyone close to me passing away, so I don't have that experience to draw on. So yeah, I just wanted to say that first and foremost. So yeah, the Buddhist view on death is one that regards life as eternal, and I know a lot of religions do that anyways, but so that's nothing new. I think it really solidified and resonated with me when I read the Analogy. So imagine you've got a zebra crossing, right? You've got a black stripe, a white stripe, a black stripe, a white stripe, a black stripe, a white stripe, and you've got a black cat walking on that zebra crossing. Okay, so when the black cat is walking on the white stripe, you can see the cat. Okay, it's visible. So that's life when it's alive. When the cat continues walking, it's now on the black stripe. So the black cat is on the black stripe. The cat still exists, but you can't see it. And as it continues walking, it goes from black stripe to white stripe to black stripe to white stripe. And at times you can see it, and other times that you can't. But the cat, the life, still exists. So that's like a very simple view of the Buddhist concept of life and death, is that life is constant and eternal, and there are times when you can see it, when it's physical, when it's manifest, when it exists, when it's tangible, and there are other times when you cannot see it, when it is unseen, when it's latent, when it's in a period of rest. It still exists, but you cannot see it. It's not tangible in the physical world. And the other analogy that really solidified for me and just made a lot of sense is thinking of life as an ocean. You know, if we are all an ocean, then at times we may be the crest of a wave, in which point we are visible and not separate from the ocean, but we have a different function, I guess, from the rest of the ocean. Yeah. So there are times when the ocean is still and calm and peaceful, and there are times when it's a wave that lasts for a moment. It's fleeting in time. It has its own identity, I guess, for this moment, and then it crashes back into the rest of the ocean. At all times, the water is the ocean. It never ceases to be the ocean, but sometimes it's a wave, and sometimes it exists as a current that's unseen. So again, it's about this idea of life always continuing, but just sometimes you can see it, sometimes it becomes visible, and sometimes it's not. So how does this help anyone? How did this help Catherine's family, who just got the news that she passed away, a young girl with her whole life ahead of her? How does this help them? How are they going to feel comforted by the fact that her life, her life energy, her life force continues, but her individual life that we called Catherine has ended? How does this help anyone? And I don't think it does. I think we just have to mourn, we have to grieve, we have to feel sad, we have to be in shock, we have to be in disbelief, we have to go through the emotions that you feel when a life that you expected to continue has been taken away unexpectedly. Like, there is no other way to go about it. You're just going to feel sad. You're just going to feel sad. And especially, and this is why, I do often speak about knife crime, but when a life is robbed, stolen, cut short, viciously taken, through violence, often for very insignificant and meaningless reasons, how does your belief system comfort you in that time? The only thing I can draw on is being indirectly affected by knife crime and seeing the mothers of the people who have been through that tragedy. I remember one woman, a good friend of mine's sister. It was phenomenal to watch, but she instantly forgave the murderers of her child. She prayed for them. And I think above all else, what really helped her to deal with her grief was accepting that it happened, accepting that her child was gone, accepting that his life was taken needlessly, too early, accepting that he was not going to come back, accepting that she was the mother of a murdered child. I only could just watch her with real, I was awed by her because she had every single right to be angry, to be vindictive, to lash out, to be a victim, to blame others, but she just accepted it. helped her to adjust to a new life without her child. Obviously still loving him, still thinking about him, still wishing it didn't happen, but to accept the life that she found herself in. I think mostly what I'm taking from this situation, or what it has led me to think about over the last few days, is death gives us an opportunity to appreciate being alive and to treasure those of us who are still alive. You know, it's an opportunity now for me to call my mum. I haven't spoken to her all year. I know we're just in January, but I haven't actually called her this year. I need to speak to my mum and my nan and my granddad and my gran, you know, people who are important to me, who I maybe don't speak to as often as I should. So Catherine's death has caused me to, or reminded me, just how fragile life is, and how we can all be taken unexpectedly, how we can all cease to be here without warning. Death is a natural part of life. It is like going to sleep. We all need it. Our bodies need rest at the end of the day, and our spirit needs rest at the end of life. So we go into a latent sleep-like state, where we are waiting to be reborn into a new form. Maybe not a new body, but a new form. So like I said, death is just an opportunity to remember that life is short, to take care of our loved ones, and to reach out to them, and to treasure the living. So that is what I take from Catherine's death. To your family, I'm thinking of you. You've inspired me. Your life has touched mine, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the effort to transcend your immediate environment, you know, reaching for something bigger than yourself via your YouTube channel. You've impacted many people who are following you, and it was beautiful to see. And I'm really sad that you're gone. I hope you're resting in peace. I'm going to do a minute silent for Catherine, just so we can use this time to remember those who we've lost, but also to remember Catherine and everything she gave us. Thanks for watching.